Long before Egypt's pyramids pierced the horizon, another civilization glowed beneath the same sun. On the broad, shimmering plains of southern Mesopotamia, where the Tigris and Euphrates meet, the first true cities rose from clay. Among them stood Ur, the jewel of Sumer, a city that breathed order into chaos. Its temples were built from sun-baked mud brick, its streets alive with merchants, potters, and scribes etching cuneiform on tablets. Priests tended fires atop towering ziggurats, sending prayers skyward to the moon god Nana. And in this cradle of civilization lived a woman of immense presence and power, Queen Puabi, known to some as Shabad. She reigned at a time when humanity was still learning the meaning of kingship, and she proved that the first monarchs of history were not all men. Around 2600 BC, Ur's ziggurat towered above the desert like a stairway to heaven. The city thrived under the Sumerian code of kingship, divinely granted, meticulously recorded, and fiercely contested. Yet among those rulers, Puabi's name stands apart. On the seals found in her tomb, she is not labeled wife of, but simply Puabi Nin, the queen. That single word rewrites assumptions that women could hold absolute power in the earliest dynasties of humankind. She likely oversaw trade that stretched from the Indus Valley to the Persian Gulf. Caravans of lapis lazuli, silver, and carnelian flowed into Ur, enriching its temples and treasury. Her palace would have been alive with ceremony, scribes recording offerings, harpists playing for the gods, and artisans shaping jewelry for divine rituals. In an age when divine favor was everything, Puabi embodied the union of power and piety, a queen who ruled through both crown and cosmos. Little is written of her marriage, though one name, Abaragi, appears nearby in the royal cemetery, perhaps a king or consort. Yet even if they shared a throne, Puabi's identity was never overshadowed. In her lifetime, she would have presided over festivals honoring Nana the moon god and Inanna, the radiant goddess of love and war. Her court likely brimmed with female attendants, priestesses, musicians, and administrators, women educated in reading, trade, and ritual. Sumerian women could own property, manage estates, and serve in temples, and Puabi stood as their highest symbol of what was possible. Her life was not simply royal, it was sacred, woven into the belief that the queen herself was the earthly vessel of divine balance. More than 4 millennia later, in the 1920s, British archaeologist Sir Leonard Woolley dug through layers of desert sand and found her. Deep beneath Ur's ruins lay Puabi's royal tomb, untouched by looters, dazzling the modern world. Her body rested beneath a crown of gold leaves and blossoms of lapis lazuli. Around her lay silver lyres, golden cups, chariots, and the remains of dozens of attendants who had followed their queen into eternity. The scene was breathtaking and tragic. Were these attendants sacrificed to accompany her, or had they chosen to follow her willingly? No one truly knows. But through that silence, Puabi's tomb spoke of a civilization both sophisticated and spiritual, capable of art that shimmered even in death. Every object in her tomb tells a story of artistry and empire. Beads of lapis from Afghanistan, carnelian from Iran, gold from Anatolia, proof of vast trade networks under her reign. Her headdress alone contained hundreds of handcrafted pieces, rosettes, ribbons, and leaves shaped from the purest metal known then. Yet her true wealth lay not in jewels, but in the mysteries she left behind. Historians debate. Was she the high priestess of Nana, ruling by divine authority? A sovereign monarch in her own right? Or the last memory of a matrilineal era before kingship became a man's domain? Puabi's silence leaves space for imagination, but also a challenge, to remember how early civilization may once have revered women as keepers of life, order, and knowledge. Time buried her city, dried its rivers, and turned its gardens to dust. Yet the name Puabi survived, pressed into clay, and rediscovered 4,000 years later. Her face is unknown, her voice long gone, but through her tomb, she still speaks. She reminds us that civilization began not with conquest, but with creation. not only with kings, but with queens who shaped the dawn of history. Long before Cleopatra, before Nefertiti, there was Puabi of Ur, a woman whose splendor defied time, whose story still glimmers beneath the sands. And when the winds of Mesopotamia sweep across the ruins of Ur, it is said they whisper her name, Puabi, the queen of the first cities.